Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Emmanuel again, live at the HBCU Festival at the Mann Music Center. Wow, what an amazing event. We've been ripping and running nonstop, but we had to take a second to interview a special guest. We're going to have a little conversation, learn a little bit more about this gentleman and what brought him here today.
I'm Dr. Jeremy Winston. I am a part and founder of the Jeremy Winston Chorale International. It is a music ensemble that is an aggregation of students who are from historically black colleges and universities who have outstanding musical talents and gifts. We come together to perform, to promote the HBCU choral music tradition and share that around the country and around the globe. And additionally, we want to support aspiring musicians who are studying at HBCUs by offering scholarship support for their journey.
Wow, okay. Let's talk about the importance of your work. I want to get a little bit more and learn more about you, but just like when you said scholarships off the bat, that just really struck a nerve because obviously that's what our platform does. Just talk to the student and parent out there that are hesitant about scholarships.
Yeah, one of the things about scholarships that I think is so important, first of all, higher education is so important, and we value not only this education as a tool to help strengthen each individual as a citizen. We also understand that higher education provides additional opportunities for funding, for jobs, for vocational purposes. So we want to make sure that the next generation is poised to have solid careers so we can continue to address some of the wealth gap that exists within the African American community. So education plays a key role into that. But also we got to be careful because education can also put people in some very strenuous financial situations if you do not take advantage of some of the scholarships that are available. A lot of people are taking out a lot more debt than they need to mostly because they may be unaware of the scholarships that are available. So for one of the things that I want to do, we started this nonprofit organization, Jeremy Winston Chorale International, of course, as I talked about, to advance music and its culture, but we also want to make sure that we fund the future dreamers. And I understand the significance of higher education debt. So we established a scholarship in one of our former members who passed away, unfortunately, far too young, Gregory Daugherty, with the Gregory Daugherty Scholarship. It's a small scholarship at $1,200, but we know we're starting by making this investment because we want to make sure people understand we put our money where our hearts are, and we want to make sure that we can support any student that is coming up and help redress any financial stress that they may have from getting a higher education degree because it is so important for future generations.
Wow, that's powerful. How can people learn about the scholarship? How can they go about applying for it and everything?
Well, these days everything is through social media, so I think the best, most effective way is to go on our IG page, Jeremy Winston, JW Chorale, JWCHORALE. On IG. You can follow us there. We have a lot of the information on there about registering. We do it once a year. You can also go to our website, JeremyWinstonChorale.com. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of stuff on our performances, but check out some of this stuff on our scholarship information. We do one a year. Hopefully, we continue to drive up numbers, get more support. We'll be able to do multiple scholarships a year and even raise the dollar amount so we can continue to support these students.
Wow, it's amazing, awesome. And so you are here today doing some music, right? You're leading a band, I believe that is, right?
A
choir, okay. Talk to us about, what brought, how did you even get into this work? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I started as a university choir director. I went to HBCUs. I went to two, Oakwood University, Huntsville, Alabama, bachelor's, Morgan State University, master's, and then I started teaching at Wilberforce University and also Central State University, all HBCUs, and directing choirs. And what I found is, again, I came across so much immense talent, and I wanted to really work even outside and after their college years to continue to take their talent abroad. And so I established this chorale. It's a professional ensemble of outstanding singers that we go abroad and go to places like Prague, Spain, France, South America, Medellin, Colombia. We've been all over the United States, sang at the White House for President Barack Obama 2 times, won World Choir Games. And so it's really just an aggregate of outstanding singers so we can continue to be ambassadors for great music and for these just great musicians.
You mentioned HBCU, so you HBCU all the way through and through. You represent, it's like from the top to the bottom. Can you speak to the importance of HBCUs to students out there that may be on the fence or may not even know what an HBCU is?
Yeah, absolutely. HBCUs, of course, stands for Historically Black College or University. And this is a very interesting point when people ask, what are the importance of HBCUs? Because a lot of people even know about HBCUs. They don't know that they exist. And now we're in a time where this idea around diversity, equity, inclusion is being attacked on certain levels. So people are starting to wonder, okay, well, what purposes does HBCU serve? This is just perpetuating this idea of diversity, equity, inclusion. And it's really not hard to tell. I mean, this nation's history has done a very terrible thing to the community of African Americans. And so the Historically Black College University are institutions that are set up to repair a lot of the damage. It hasn't done all. It can't do everything. But it serves as one part along the way where we look at the millions of African Americans who are still struggling with the consequences of this nation's history around slavery, Jim Crow laws, segregation, redlining, all of the things that we can list. We recognize that we need institutions that are specifically geared and targeted to redressing this harm that has been heaped upon African Americans, and HBCU is just one tool. We need more institutions like them, but we've got about 105 of them, and these institutions are doing that. And so that is the purpose of these HBCUs. And I think it is important for young African Americans to really consider HBCUs as a place where they want to get a higher education degree. I like to say, you got your whole life to be a minority. Right, and so it doesn't hurt to take 4 years to be in a space where you're not a minority, where you're a part of the majority, where you can see yourself reflected in other people and other experiences. Some people who have different experiences as an African American in this country, and when we recognize that we can see ourselves as someone else, so we can see the struggles that they've gone through, and even your professors, what they've gone through, and they can teach you in a way that can hopefully nurture you and pull some people out of some of the challenges that this nation has heaped upon our culture and our community. So I think that is that's one of the many important factors for HBCUs, but that's definitely one that I champion and I'm excited about.
Amazing, man. I couldn't agree any more than that, what you just said. I think that's super important for students to consider that, coming to an HBCU, coming to that level of an institution where, like you said, you have the majority of your life to be the minority. We are here at the HBCU Festival. What's one thing that you've enjoyed about being here? If you could think of one thing about this particular festival here today, what's that one thing that just really made you feel like this is great?
Well, first of all, the interest. I mean, to see all these people here interest on so many levels. First, we have so much about this to me represents kind of the HBCU. You got the art side, right? So you got the performances, you got the drum corps, you got the dance team, you got the choirs, and then you got the stands. You got all these people. I just met a young lady who I think was featured on this platform a while ago who just is finishing her degree at Westchester and is looking to go to an HBCU to get her master's, right? And she's just very passionate about wanting to be here to get as much information as she can, to find out about scholarships and opportunities. To see one event and one entity like the Mann be committed to this is just really special because we also understand how versatile and multifaceted the HBCU community is. Of course, like I said, there's the art side, but there's the education side, there's the business side. There's so many different levels to it, and so the more people are aware of those opportunities and what it represents, I think the stronger these institutions will be.
Amazing, man. So we're gonna get you with the quick fire questions before this sun burns us to a crisp.
Yeah.
First question, I know you said it before, but just for the record, the college you went to and what did you major?
I went to Oakwood University, undergrad, majoring in music, got my bachelor's degree in music. Morgan State University, master's degree, also in music.
Okay, and what was your favorite college memory?
Oh my goodness, my favorite college memory, man. So, there's so many favorite college memories, but I think I got to go with Morgan. When I was touring with the Morgan State University Choir, we went to Prague for 30 days. And I think about it, the reason why I say it's my favorite, because I absolutely did not want to go. I remember packing for the trip, thinking I do not want to go away for a month. And when I was there, I was like, I do not want to go back home. I was like, I could stay here for another month. So that was a great memory because it really opened my eyes to him in a major way. It made me realize I'm on the other side of the world, and these people live just like me. They go, they wake up, they go to work, they're tired, it rains, it pours, it's sunny. They speak a different language, eat food differently, but in so many ways we're so much the same, right? And you see it on television. The buildings are beautiful and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, It's a building, just like And so it really opened my eyes. It's not that it's simple, but it opens your eyes to realize, we're all humans, and we can partner together. We can be friends. We can support each other, even though we may be from different parts of the globe and don't speak the same language.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's true. That international travel, that'll change you, boy. That'll change you.
Yes, sir.
Last question. If you could say one thing to your high school self, what would that be?
Oh, man. High school self, I would say look for as many scholarship dollars that are available. Don't settle just because you feel like, I can borrow this money and I'm good. Like, there's so many scholarship dollars available that, like, you almost shouldn't have to pay. I mean, that's a stretch, but still, there's so many things available. I would have pushed harder. I would have studied harder for my SATs and ACTs to recognize the financial opportunities they could have provided. But, I hate to make it about money, but that's the advice I give to myself.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Doc. We appreciate you. This was awesome. All right, y'all. We out.